Hello, welcome to this new video of my Teensy project. This time I worked out a little box for my Teensy micro console project. So I spent some time to 3D print everything. It's a bit inspired from the Game Boy concept, but I went for a full keyboard, in fact 40 keys, plus a pad. On the side you have the power switch. It's all powered by a 1000 mAh battery. You can recharge it through this USB, and here you can reprogram the Teensy 4 if you need it. So I also ported a new emulator on it, an MSX emulator, just to illustrate, but this project is really the full hardware in the sense that it also includes the PSRAM. So all emulators that have PSRAM support will also run on this machine. So I will just demonstrate the MSX because that's the new emulator. I will zoom on the screen, but just be aware that the keyboard is fully working. Let's start it up. The display used is the ST7789, so 320/480. It's a bit smaller than the Ilya was using, but it's, let's say, cool to have it at that form factor. The classical menu. So let's start with the first game. The emulator supports up to 260, 200, in fact 256 kilobyte ROMs, and so some games are not working like the latest games, but this was, for example, a remake of the emulator with the improvement like the scrolling, etc. You can reset the emulator like this. I just wanted to show that the keyboard is also working. So I just have to select an empty ROM. I'll call it DOS, doesn't matter too much. So I have to map 40 keys, so it's typically the same layout as a Spectrum, so the digits being over there. I will zoom on the screen because it's not fantastic. So the numbers, and then you have the first row, the QWERTY keyboard. You get the return, you get the space, and you get the backspace as well. So normally you can type a bit whatever you want on this. We go again. So I also implemented the reset from Frank, so if you press 2 buttons you can just reset without rebooting everything. Let's try some other games. Contra, for example, is also working nicely on this machine. As I said, some of the modified games, which for example implemented some smooth calling on the MSX, are also working, at the exception of Idiom, which is a pity, so I will have to have a look at it. 1942 is working as the MSX2 version, which looks not that bad except for the sound. It's very close to the one of the NES. Not sure if you hear the sound, but there is some kind of sound. It's a small buzzer, but so all the emulators are presented before also running on that system, including the Atari ST and the Genesis, as the PS-RAM is integrated, so PC Engine, everything also works fine. Just to show you some more stuff, Arcanoid. Yeah, the finishing is not perfect, but I spent some time. You can find some images. The STL files are also on the Git, so if you want to try, you can always print it out yourself. PCB is also there. If you need more help, you can always ask me on the forum of the Teensy. It was the idea to make something, so there's a flex PCB to allow to close the screen, but it was the idea to make something that looks, when it's closed, that looks like a small computer. It's not exactly looking like that yet, but okay, I think I will stop. I have too many different variants of the thing. I also made even a smaller version. Let me try a last game. Like Circus Charlie, for example. So the screen is not too bad actually to play. There's a bit of tearing, of course. Nothing is really synchronized. Well, I think it's becoming playable, even if I'm not an expert, as you can see. I also wanted to show you another version. In fact, this is the second version I created. During Christmas holiday I also went for a very tiny version, which is in fact the small brother of this one. The new one is a lot more usable because it has the full keyboard. In fact, I started with an initial version which was a similar concept, but which had even a smaller screen, and which had the SD slot on this side. The new one has the SD slot on the screen, which is a bit better. And this had no SD RAM, so you could only play some games. Here you just see a small demo I created to test the display, but actually all the emulators that does not require the PS RAM was in fact were in fact working also. That's a very small form factor, not fully finished, but this one is a bit more robust, I have to say. Spend some more time. Well, that's it. If you enjoyed this video, just tell me and contact me on the forum. I will post a message this afternoon. Bye bye, thanks for your time.